All right. My name is Adam Johnson, and this is a little presentation on the differences between problem-based learning and project-based learning. Kind of a compare and contrast of the two with an example of each, kind of the same topic, and then an example of a different of one problem-based learning unit that you could do or section that you could do versus a similar topic but a project-based learning approach to that topic. So first we're just going to kind of define what the two are before we compare and contrast. So project-based learning is generally, kind of a long period of time where there's sort of a culmination over a lot of different smaller topics. Maybe it's an entire unit's worth of ideas, or depending on the discipline, an entire unit or topic in that sense. Generally, project-based learning, students are able to utilize a lot of creativity. There's that active learning component where they are able to kind of self-direct where they want their project to go. There's a lot of collaboration. Generally, projects out in the real world are not done by themselves. We'll kind of get into some of the comparisons here. I don't want to give away too much. Problem-based learning, on the other hand, is again using that active learning model, where it may be in a shorter sense. What we're looking at, we're involving our students here. We're giving them kind of an open-ended, complex problem. A lot of times it's a real-world type problem. Okay, that keeps the students engaged with that sense of usefulness from the knowledge and skills that they're learning and gaining. They're kind of in this process, they're hoping to learn the related knowledge and utilize skills while doing that, hopefully gaining some new skills in the process. So they sound similar. There are a lot of similarities, but let's talk about how they are different. Oftentimes, comparing the two, project-based learning is a longer process. A problem-based learning might be a smaller, kind of a day-long lesson on a certain topic, where project could take the culmination of a whole semester, depending on the class setting or the student setting. Not just a day or maybe even a week for a problem-based learning setup. Project-based learning can kind of cover a longer time span and involve more variables and different things that you're bringing into it. Project-based learning can more so, I would say, than problem-based learning be involved with several different disciplines. It's kind of multidisciplinary. Oftentimes, real-world problems require you to go out and be able to write about the problem, use maybe some math and science in the solving of the problem, and maybe technology skills as well to get that presentation out there or in the solution of the problem. There's a wide variety of examples, but a lot of the times it's very multidisciplinary. I don't want to make it sound like problem-based learning can't be multidisciplinary, because it certainly can, but we tend to think of project-based learning as more so. Problem-based learning, it opens up for the creativity of different strategies for solving a problem. Project-based learning can open up for entire different problems to be solved, where students are collaborating maybe to go out and solve some social issues in their community, or looking for possible solutions over the course of the year, where they're collaborating with a group to present an idea that'll or a well-researched idea that will hopefully help solve a problem. Problem-based learning, on the other hand, while it can certainly be collaborative and all those things, usually you're kind of looking to head towards a similar solution or a smaller goal. Project learning, I like this distinction particularly down here at the bottom of this slide. Project-based learning utilizes the application of knowledge, okay, where problem-based learning is getting the acquisition of the knowledge, okay. In a smaller sense, maybe a nice way I kind of like to think about it is maybe you did some problem-based learning to get to the point where you can do some project-based learning, where it's the culmination of all this stuff you've learned coming together, putting together this project that maybe you're going to present or submit at the end of some unit to show your learning, to apply that knowledge to solve a larger problem. Okay, so an example of the two. So here's an example. I teach high school consumer math. And in that class, we do a lot of problem-based learning to some outgoing high school seniors. They can kind of guide what they want to learn about, but here's something they come up with a lot. It's something we all think about is retirement. Well, here are two different approaches to the same kind of question about retirement. One of these is problem-based. Here's that problem-based learning topic example. So you could walk into class and kind of ask students, how long do you expect to live for in retirement? Okay, it's a tricky question, and it doesn't have a single right solution, but there are certainly a variety of answers, and students can kind of make the problem focus towards what they're interested in, but there's a limited workspace for which students can go with that. Okay, you can, as a teacher, you can show them life expectancies and probabilities around life expectancies, the differences between maybe male and female life expectancies and where they can find those charts. Not only that, they can start to look at things like the age of retirement. You can go into when Social Security kicks in at its different levels. What kind of jobs maybe they're hoping to have so that they're financially ready to retire. That all factors in to when you should consider retiring. Okay. Another thing to consider with that is obviously like the fact that the life expectancy now could be longer with the growing strength of medical technology. So we again see some multidisciplinary stuff in there. Okay, a similar look at that same topic would be the project-based learning on a topic where you outline that the students are required to plan for their retirement. Now that's more complex than the problem-based learning question, because not only do they have to know how long they're going to retire for, okay, that's just the problem-based learning question, but they have to know how are they going to acquire that money so that they can retire. They're going to have to look at, saving up money, investing money, the inflation rates, expected inflation rates, different taxation rates, different retirement, tax incentivized retirement accounts. Again, going to that Social Security, when's that going to kick in? So a little wider variety of information that they're going to have to be able to tackle. Is your mortgage going to be paid off? How are you going to pay for a car and food and still manage to live comfortably in retirement like you do in your everyday life while you're working? Are you going to have your mortgage paid off when you retire, etc.? So it goes into a lot more areas. It's going to take more effort, probably. Not necessarily effort, I guess. That's maybe not the right word, but more of a long period of time to come up with your finalized answer in some form. That answer might come in the form of a presentation going through all the details of what I just listed. It's going to take a long time to answer that problem. It's a complex problem, and there are a lot of, kind of road bumps and speed bumps along the way, and that's where the teachers can step in and guide. Totally multidisciplinary, and hopefully the application of stuff that they've been learning throughout a unit where they're then presenting that project. So there are my references from a couple different things. Thanks for listening in. All right, get this.